Wow, the audience caught us laughing again. My friend Dewey Freeman, Mark Sylvester here. We're the Elder Council.
Good morning, everybody.
You gotta start with a laugh, right?
Welcome.
We each week we pick something interesting to talk about, and sometimes the universe picks something for us. Sometimes it's just current events. It's how we're feeling. Today we're going to talk about character. Actually, I'm going to say character counts. I'm going to actually title the show before we even do it. How about that?
Title our show, Character Counts.
Yeah.
That's a great title.
Yeah, it's a bumper sticker. I want to turn everything in life. Well, it's no longer a bumper sticker. It's ironic T-shirts. People don't have bumper stickers anymore, but they will make T-shirts. When I say character counts, what's the first thing that hits your mind?
Well, actually, two things. One is integrity, and two is having a sense of who you are.
I park those for just a second. You've heard of character animation?
I have, but okay. Say more so that
So Disney does character animation, right? So they bring something to life. They give it character. So what does Disney typically animate? Animals.
Yep.
And things, teapots and forks and spoons and houses and mice and carriages. They add character to something. It's called character animation.
That's pretty cool.
So when you think about character, now if someone has endowed you with character, you're an inanimate object, and someone has turned you into a character, what does that mean? They've picked a few things to heighten about you, so we know that you have, he's a character. Boy, I like that character. And it's the heightening of one or two things about a thing, a person, place, an object that helps us identify how that object is going to behave in situations. So if we know that the teapot is British, we know that one thing, and we know the teapot is kind of courtly and stately and moves around like this. We kind of know if we put that British teapot in a situation, pretty much know what he's going to do. So the idea of us understanding, to your point, of who we are and what our character is, lets us live into that which we want to be known as. That's another way to think about it. Dewey Freeman,
you just blew my mind. Keep going. That was sort of a mic drop there.
It's like, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. Well, it's just been 7 minutes.
I have actually never looked at it that way. And here's an interesting piece. Kimberly and I, and the end of January, we're going to do a piece on character structure, which comes out of Reichian from Wilhelm Reich, body structures and somatic work, but literally how our physical bodies reflect our character.
100%.
And as I'm saying that, I'm envisioning a teapot dancing around. And because...
Sure, we all saw Beauty and the Beast, right? We saw the teapot and all of that. I'd say that in a picture comes into your mind instantly, and you can now see the fork and the spoon. You see them dancing around, and you get a sense that they're playful. And if we can add some somatic construct to the teapot, we know it's not flexible. We know it can kind of move like this, right? So to your point that the way we move is an indication of how we feel, which is, I think, what you were saying.
Well, not only that, but how our our actual bodies begin to reflect how we perceive our lives.
So hold that. So when we're getting coached on Monday nights for improv, there's the 2, 3, 4 of us, 5 of us, however many in that particular
Scene.
yeah. And John, our coach, he's the voice of God. He's on a Zoom laptop, but 8 feet in front of us, so he can see us and we can hear him, and it's fantastic. And we do drills. Okay.
Mhm.
So 2 people walk in, look at each other, and then based on what we see, just no words, what emotion do I see them? What emotion do they have right now that I can see on their face? And I'll say, "You're so excited." That's all I'll say. And then they can respond as someone who is excited, because I've endowed them with excitement, because their body, through whatever, indicated to me excitement. But what's the first thing he says, the coach says, to the person I am going to endow an emotion to? He says, he says, move your body, move. He says it like really fast. So I go, move your body, change a different shape. Just get out of your, and it'll get like this. And then as soon as you get like this, your voice changes. You don't even know your voice changes. And now I'm that guy who's or in the corner looking at everything all the time. And it's just, I moved my shoulders up, the voice started, and you went.
Exactly.
And so let's bring that all around. Do you know what your, the word characteristics, same word, right? Same word. If you were to, here's a great exercise, nation, and person who's listening, write an email to 10 friends and say, what 3 words would you use to describe me to someone else? What 3 words would you use to describe me to someone else? And those are your characteristics, my friend.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. This is like branding. This is like personal branding. You know, a brand decides, oh, this is how we're going to be as a brand,
right?
And we're light and fluffy. We're approachable. We're whatever the fuck we are as a brand. It doesn't mean shit. You are what people think you are once you've left the room. That's your brand.
Are we able? Again, this is fabulous. Are we able? Do you feel like we're able to change our brand?
100%.
Like as you just said, what you were saying, I can go through lists of people, and it's like, oh, this person is grumpy, angry, and short-tempered. Or this person smiles and engages and withdraws at the same time. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, and it's like, whoa.
And you only need 3. Actually, you only need 1. But you know, if you could take and endow someone with those, what are the 3 characteristics of them? And so the question on the table is, can you change that? A, you have to want to change. B, you have to know what to change. C, how to change isn't as important as why you want to change it. So if in fact we believe that our state of being, our state of mind, our state of how we show up is 1,000% in our control. It's one of the few things we have in control of life. How I show up. I'm happy. I'm the happy guy. I'm the curious guy. I'm the interested guy. I'm the guy who's going to listen and going to ask questions. That's a choice of how I want to show up into a situation. And my state affects all around me. If I show up, I'm pissed off, I'm angry, that's going to affect everybody. Either they're going to withdraw, I don't want to say anything, I don't want to piss them off anymore, or whatever it is.
Well, and depending on my character, I will respond to that in a certain way.
Exactly.
I might want to leave, or I might want to come in and try and make it better for you, or any of those things. But it's like,
so can you change it? First, you need to be aware of it. So it might be an interesting, it is an interesting exercise to write 10 people an email and say, what are the three words, you only get 3 words, that you would use to describe me. Now, that's a sample size of 10, not a lot, but gosh darn,
that's a lot of information.
Key indicator. So if you heard something on there that surprised you, first, you're not surprised.
Maybe you wished it was something else.
Yeah. Character counts. How you show up counts. We've already decided we don't want to live by ourselves. So how we show up to other people makes a huge difference. And if you find that you're grumpy, to your point, you have a friend who's grumpy and angry and it's like, okay, if you said that to him, or if 9 of 10 people said that to this person, they could decide, I'm the grumpy. Could I lean into it? Yeah, I'm the grumpy guy, but I have a smile on my face even though I'm grumpy. Or, gosh, everybody thinks I'm grumpy. Maybe I get someone to help me be not grumpy. Right.
Or if somebody is not aware that they're grumpy, it's like
that's a different problem.
Yeah, that's a different piece.
Go listen to episode 24 on self-awareness.
Yeah, but it's like, all right, so one of the things that you and I talk about, and also in the nation it gets discussed a lot, is how do we lead? How do we influence other people? Because and I'm also, so that's one piece. That's sort of one silo here. The other silo, which is and this is just a picture that keeps going through my mind since you brought up the image of the teapot dancing. I think it would be really hard. It's actually easy for me to have that image of a teapot dancing and a fork and a spoon and but it would be really hard to imagine that teapot being a villain, or that teapot being
because the character that was endowed on that was so strong that you have such an association.
Exactly.
So it would be out of character.
Yes.
For the teapot to be villainous.
Or the teapot to be a sheriff.
So what does out of character mean? Boy, that was really out of character. I didn't expect he was going to react like that. Something's going on. He doesn't normally do that.
Yeah, that's something's
out of character. A lot in the word character, huh, my friend?
Yeah, I'm just like going. You can bet your bottom dollar that this will be a meeting with 5 or 6 people today. This discussion will be a part of each of my sessions. How do we embody the character or characteristics that we want?
Oh, that's easy.
I friggin' get up in the morning and I want to be sexy. I want to be powerful.
So be sexy and powerful. That's a mental construct.
Exactly.
Just be that.
And you're right, but I'm going to bet that 83 and 83.6% of the men listening to this are going, what do
What
you
the
mean?
fuck?
Who the
So
fuck are you, Mark
let's
Sylvester?
so
No,
let's
you're
put it,
fucking right. But it's like,
but let's put it in something that's approachable and accessible. Just waking up and saying I'm going to be something doesn't necessarily make it true. I got
exactly.
it. I got it. When I step onto the improv stage and I'm the one who I step in and my partner's going to initiate and they're going to say, gosh, you look sleepy. Or no, you
look sexy this morning.
Okay, let's say I'm not normally that.
Mm-hmm.
This is huge sex right here. I mean, come on. I don't have a problem, right? But I walk on and my partner says, wow, you look really sexy today. And that voice turns it up. And now they've endowed me with that. So the novice improver is going to deny that and say, I don't feel very sexy today. The novice improver would do that. That's not yes and. The experienced improver says, yeah, boy, I woke up, I had an amazing dream. Oh my God, it must be all over my face. Then I shut up. And I've just given my partner some information. I just woke up, so maybe we're intimate partners. I had a dream that I can still remember it. So I give 2 pieces of information. Now they can take that however they want. So, but we have this saying, quick little sidebar. I walk into improv and there's 8 of us standing in a circle, gonna do our warm-ups just to kind of get going, and then before we start class. And the teacher walks in, throws a boombox. Remember those? Throws a boombox into the middle of the circle, and he goes, "Dance party," and music starts playing. Everybody starts dancing. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't dance. I'm not. No, I used to dance, teach dance, but I don't dance. I'm not a dancer. And the person standing next to me, Ziggy, he pulls me out of the circle a little bit. He looks at me, he goes, I know you don't dance, but your character does.
Right.
I go, oh. That was 5 years ago. And that one little 8-second thing changed a lot of things for me, which is I know I'm not I don't come off as a powerful leader. I know that. But for this meeting, this all hands with the employees, my character needs to be a powerful leader. And I can't be ambiguous. I can't be, I need to show some strength and leadership right now, even though I'm having a hard time. My character can do it. So we can do anything for 15, 20 minutes. You do anything. So if you think about it that way, I know you're not kind, loving, gentle, and accommodating. But for 15 minutes, could you be that? Sure, you could.
Of course. So here's what struck me, and what you're saying is incredible. When you were speaking about the novice improv dude or woman with the, you look really sexy, it's like, oh no, that's really not me, versus the, yeah, you would not believe the dream I just had about you. One of those is shutting the door.
Yeah.
The other one is opening the door.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's not just opening the door sexually, it's opening the door for contact and connection.
Yeah.
Because I could say to you, even if you're the one, if we were in an improv and you said to me, you know, hey man, you look pretty darn good today. And I go, yeah, you wouldn't fucking believe the dream I just had. That creates an opening, not only for me, but that creates an opening for you.
100%. In improv, we call it giving each other gifts.
Exactly. So is one of your characteristics giving gifts?
Boom, there we go. Are you a gift giver?
Yeah. What characteristics do you want?
So that's generosity.
Yes. If I wrote 10 people an email and I said 3 words of the characteristics that you see, I would get back whatever people gave me.
Yep.
I could also spend the next, say, 6 months, and I'm just making this up as I go, picking 3 characteristics that I want to be in the world, and live those 3 characteristics to the very best of my ability.
So the question is, are those 3 out of character for you today? Or are they nascent traits? Nascent meaning they're there, but they're not visible.
Inactive.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That you want to activate because you think for some reason it'll be better. So now we're talking about brand you. What feeling do you want people to have of you when you leave the room?
Exactly.
That's very intentional. So that means if character counts to yourself first, right? If you can't love others until you love yourself, so you can't influence others until you've influenced yourself. So once you ought to be, we're elders. We can give ourselves the 3 words. We know what the 3 words are. We've heard them enough times in our life, right? But others who are still trying to figure that shit out, that's why we're here, can say, God, I heard those 3 things. I thought I was boom, boom, boom. Oh. Internally, if that's how I think I am, but externally, people are reading all this other shit, and I want them to I really want these things. Then, okay, well, what do you think you could do about that?
Exactly.
What action could you take in your next encounter to expose a bit more of that thing? Ask yourself that question. Because the other thing you wouldn't want to do is induce character conflict, right? All of a sudden, he's nice. What the fuck? He's not a nice guy. Why are you nice? Well, I was always nice. I just had this veil of that. I was protecting myself from getting hurt, so I was always a dick so people wouldn't get close to me. Oh, tell me about that. Well, I went to this workshop on a weekend and I didn't need to be an asshole. Oh, what was that like? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I kind of like this nice guy in you. Now, nice guy is a loaded fucking trigger word in the nation, right? Total trigger word, right? However, being kind and generous of spirit doesn't mean you're weak or not strong or any of those things. So I don't want to get anybody the wrong idea. But what I'm saying is if you decide, here's a character trait that I would love to wear, and it's antithetical to who you are, you just think, so now you have to ask yourself, well, why do you want to be that way? Well, I want people to like me, or I want people, whatever it is. Be honest about the brand characteristic you want to embody. There you go. That's the t-shirt.
So if we're honest about that, so 2 things are happening. One is presenting a character and this wraps all the way back around to where we started, where I talked about integrity. Presenting a characteristic of ourselves in integrity.
Yes.
Without an incongruent process. So here's what happens with horses.
Mm.
If I go up and let's say I'm scared or I'm angry or I'm frustrated, but I pretend like I'm not, a horse will pick up on that.
Yeah, you bet.
If I go up and I'm angry and I'm about something, and this is, I don't get angry much. That's not part of my gig. Used to be, but I don't walk around the world being angry. It's just not, it's a friggin' waste of my time. But if I go up and I'm angry and I go, yeah, I'm really fucking angry, all the horses go, oh, okay. So I think part of what I'm trying to get to is not only a character that other people see and notice, but an underlying character or characteristic of certain characteristics that actually drive our character. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. So for example, you may appear to be interested in what the other person has to say. So I'm going to appear, I want a characteristic of being a good listener and empathetic and all of that, when underneath I could give a fuck. Like that's possible. I mean,
Right.
it's very possible, right? So,
Oh yeah.
like I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to shut up to you. I'm going to listen until you shut up, and I'll say, "Oh, that's not too bad," and then I'm going to talk about myself,
Right.
or whatever, right?
Or
So whatever. So you're told that you need to be a good listener and empathetic in a relationship, right? Like you've heard that's a good thing, but honestly,
I read that in a book somewhere.
Exactly, or you heard it on our podcast, and you know that honestly, that's not how you feel. You don't care. You really, genuinely don't care. So to be in integrity, and this would be fucking hard. Hey, I don't really care what's happening to you right now. I'm more concerned about we're going to be late for that thing. And I know you're having a moment right now, but you need to get over yourself. We need to get going. Now, that's a fucking hard thing to say, but that would be an integrity, wouldn't it?
It would. And so what's the underlying characteristic of even that?
Selfish comes to mind.
I would say trust.
Ooh, okay. Now, there's a trust bridge that was broken in that, right?
Well, either that or if you and I have a deeply trusting relationship, which from my end, we certainly do.
Absolutely.
If I was really struggling and you said to me, Dewey, I get it. And, we got to get on the show here.
Mm.
I go, great. Because there is an underlying piece of trust. You go, yeah, I can do that.
And it could also be that I've misplaced values, or I said the value of recording a pod is more important than the value of listening to my friend.
Well, that's possible.
Like you're making some value judgments right off. I learned 20 years ago when I met my Kimberly. I am a planner, not with her.
Well, exactly. Because coming back around, I could also say, because of the trust, I could also say, no, this is actually really serious, Mark. I mean, things just went to hell in a handbasket with something. And there's still something in here for me about walking with integrity And when you spoke about your Kimberly and going, yeah, I'm a planner, but not with her, there's a level of integrity and trust in that.
It took a while. And what changed it all was someone important to us asked us if you could identify as an animal or something else, what would you identify with? And she said butterfly. And I said, in Avatar, there's the home tree, that big tree. I'm the home tree. So roots go deep into the center of the earth, widespread, huge community. They can shoot rockets at me and I'm just gonna go like this. I'm still there. And she's, here, then here, but not going anywhere. Here, just gonna try that mental image helped me. It was early enough to help me understand the butterfly is going to change their mind, and that's fine. That was a big fucking lesson for me. Huge, because I would be really frustrated. Well, we said we're going to do this, and we're doing this thing. I don't want to do that
now. You betrayed me, God damn it.
Yeah, and it's not that. So when we think of one of the questions, we said, can we change our character? I had this vision in the early days of my software company. We had built this matching engine, and you would define a bunch of traits, and I would define a bunch of traits, and 900 other people would define a bunch of traits, and then our system would match and said, based on the fact that you're like these things, you might like these people. You might want to go have a good conversation with them. The idea being that having similar experiences, similar jobs, similar education, similar social structure, similar demographic are not enough to bind us, but having similar values is. Right. So you could be completely different on everything else, but the fact that you're both goal-oriented, optimistic people, there's going to be something there for you to talk about. And Polaroid hired us to take that idea and put it on to brands. So instead of matching people, we would match brands. And what they had us do was, here are all the characteristics: feminine, masculine, aggressive, subtle, all those things that you would call characteristics. And we actually had this bucket of words, if you will. And then we would show, Motorola. What are 3 things you think of Motorola? Apple, Virgin, we'd do that. They did 30 of them. And then
like 30 brands.
Yeah. So there's 30 brands. And what do you think of this? What are the 3 words? Back to our 3 words. What are the 3 words you're going to use to describe that brand? Ching, ching, ching. They sent it out to thousands of people. And then they were able to slice and dice and say, these 30 brands in Japan with women 25 to 35 are viewed this way. The same brands with women in Eastern Europe are viewed this way. So they were able then to look at the brand characteristics and see, not only was a given brand seen differently around the world, around gender, and around age, and then what they use all of that information to say, where does Polaroid fit in that? Where does Polaroid need to? Here we go. What does Polaroid need to be to get to Japanese women 25 to 35 years old? Because the characteristics that they rank highest are whatever those 3 things were amongst the amalgamated brand characteristics of 30 different brands. And then in our engine would say, okay, here's dead center on that. Polaroid, you're way out here. There's going to be a lot of work you're going to need to do to get this group of people to perceive of you as being those 3 things. So using that as our baseline, what are the 3 things that people in your circle like the most about other people.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you in relation to that? What's the delta between you and that?
Right.
And is that important to you? That'd be the first question. Is it important to you to be like that? Or can you find a way to get them to love you for who you are? Or is it time to maybe go into the bathroom and stare in the mirror for an hour and see if you're okay?
How important is it from your perspective when people are staring in the mirror or interacting on any level to have some sense of, say, the three primary characteristics of themselves?
So my first thought is that if I'm caring about how I'm coming across, one axis of that is the level of narcissism I have.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like if I don't care, I'm on this side. If I care too much, I'm on this side of that narcissistic, that's the one that's I'm thinking of. If I'm balanced in there and I care what they think because I want them to think well of me, then am I doing things that contribute or deduct from that? And what might those things be? And it's going to come back to integrity. It's going to come back to trust.
Right.
You know, I don't trust a goddamn word that comes out of that guy's mouth. I wish he would shut up so I can leave. Right? Which is why we talk about, with storytelling, like we're all about, day job is helping people tell stories, which is really about communication, which is really about mastering influence, which is really about know, like, and trust me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. I want in every interaction, I want someone to know a little something new, like me a little bit more because I kind of like that, and to trust me. And so what am I doing in that interaction to support my goal? My objective of this interaction is that you would know, like, and trust me.
If I want to know, if you want me to know, like, and trust you, what I need is an internal sense, a felt sense that there's actually really something to grab hold of.
100%. We do that through telling each other stories in life.
I think that we do that by telling each other stories. I also think that we do that energetically.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that person that you spoke about was like, okay, yeah, you're saying really good things, but get me the fuck out of here. I wish you'd just fucking shut up. Didn't
touch that person emotionally, to your point, energetically. And when you said
Right.
felt sense, that just that is I feel something, right? I feel something. We don't feel data. We don't
Right.
feel facts. We don't feel lists, but we feel heartache. We feel frustration. We feel, the horses feel it. There's that felt sense. And so we would purport that by being vulnerable, by trusting your audience of 1 or 1,000, that if I tell you a personal story and how I felt, how that thing made me feel, you in turn, if I'm a good storyteller or I'm trying to be a good storyteller, you will feel that as well, because I know that how you feel, and I tell you that thing is important to know, like, and trust. If I miss that, I miss the opportunity to build a connection with you, to give you the gift, bringing it back, of a felt sense of me.
Exactly.
Wow.
That was really good.
I wish someone was recording this shit.
Yeah, me too. is the ability to live your life through following your felt sense a characteristic?
I'm going to say yes. What makes me think about that is two things. One is being present, because if I'm present, I'm open to that, to receiving from you so that I can feel something, because I know I like that. So that's being present and not thinking about what I'm going to say in 5 minutes, but I'm really listening to you right now. It's so I think that's it. It's just being present. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I really love an emotional reaction. And it is for men, for me, I won't say for men, fuck it. Say for me, that's hard to do, because I not have, no one's ever said I had to hold my emotions in check. I'm very emotional, but I could be more. Empathy, that was the word I was waiting for that word to come back. So it's being the felt sense is, am I being present? Yeah, so I'm open, I'm ready to receive. Hotel California, Eagles, great song. We're ready to receive. And once I've received that gift from you, your story, your whatever it was, and then I can react to that empathetically, because I trust and believe and love you. I can react empathetically to what you're feeling, because now I get a sense of what you're feeling, and that makes me feel something. And if I'm being really honest and I give myself permission to react, now what did we do? We put another block on our intimacy relationship wall, right?
Exactly. And there, so hold that for a minute, because what you just said, I think, is perfect. You speak a lot about storytelling, which I actually love in our conversations, and how you bring in story and storytelling, and sometimes even the stories we tell ourselves. The way that you're talking about it draws me in, and I want to learn how to tell stories better in the kind of context that you're sharing. I also spend time with people who just tell story after story after story after story, and it's like, well, and the truck did this, and then this one over there, and then that, and it's like, and then I went and bought this, and it's like, there's a place in there where some of those kinds of stories just,
P.S. listener, those aren't stories.
Yeah, please keep going, please.
Those are just lists. Those are recountings of my day. Those are lists. I went to the store and I bought this. Well, how'd you feel? Tell me how you felt going in the store. I was really anxious because I was afraid I was going to forget something, because I've been forgetting things lately.
That. So how do we help the men here? Because what you said about you
how did it make you feel?
Yeah, but you even said that you haven't had a lot of messages that say don't feel, don't, et cetera, but you could be more open to that. I do think that men get messages about not feeling. I think that's a societal thing, even if we don't get it directly.
Yeah, that's bigger than us. Yeah. Want to be invincible.
Yeah.
Impervious. Fuck that.
And
react emotionally. There's your t-shirt. React with an emotion.
Yes.
So again, what I'm
Reacting with emotion creates power.
100%, because you've created an opening for the person you're reacting with to respond and have a felt sense of who you are in that moment, because you want them to be as present as you're being, and they can then react however they're going to react, and then you can react to that. And I'm going to go back to improv, which is, the number one thing my coach tells me is just fucking react. Just how did that make you feel? Whatever my scene partner said, it doesn't matter. How did what they say make you feel? And be honest about that and give a little something back. Wow, that really hurt me. I didn't think you were going to bring that. I didn't think you were going to use that against me. I don't trust you right now. Now, all of a sudden the audience goes, what the fuck is he going to say? Right? But how many of us are that honest in life? Open question.
Open question. And yes. How good, we're going to run out of time here in a little bit. So this has been churning. How do we help men connect story to heart, to integrity?
So
versus
that's simple. That's simple.
Listing our fucking day.
That's very simple. Think about the story that you want to tell, whatever that thing is. How was your day? Whatever the story is that you're using to tell. Just instead of saying what you did, you could say what you did, but make sure you say how it made you feel. Hey, I felt really great. I got a lot done today. Geez, I don't need to tell you all the stuff I did. I feel buoyant right now because I don't feel tired, but Jesus, I did a lot. I feel great. So
how did it affect you?
Right. What was your emotion? Dewey Freeman, man, this time just goes,
yeah, I know.
Just evaporates. Final word on character.
My final word would be to let your heart drive who you are and your character.
Boom. Love it. Love you, my friend.
Love you. Thank you so much.